Here are the 5 pros and 5 cons of living in Boston. Hey, this is Javier from Javier Hurtado Realty. I wanted to come at you guys today, share with you guys today the 5 pros and the 5 cons of living in Boston. Let's start with the cons. The cons of Boston. Number 1, the cost of living is actually higher here in Boston. Once you come here to Boston, you'll realize that things are slightly more expensive, and it's actually based on a survey. It's 48% higher than the national average. So here in Boston, things are a little bit more expensive, all right? So prepare your pockets and prepare your finances for when you come here, all right? Number 2, we have the cold, gray winters. What does that mean? I think it's pretty transparent. Our winters are pretty damn cold, all right, guys? It's cold. Well, I'd say most of the time it's cloudy. That's why we call this area, or when the pioneers came to Boston and all that stuff, we consider this place New England. New England. England is pretty gray, I'd say. All right. And number 3, the traffic congestion. Being a realtor and driving around the city a lot and driving from and to the city, I can say you have to really time your drive really well, or else you're gonna get hit with that traffic. And once you get hit with that traffic, oh Lord, yeah, that's my reaction. It's really bad, guys. So I would say time your time. So if you're coming into Boston or coming from Boston, I would say the sweet spot is between 10 o'clock to 12. Okay. Once you come from Boston, out of Boston, if you hit the 2 o'clock mark, or if you hit the 6 o'clock mark, okay, you're gonna be sitting in traffic for a while. Bring a snack, bring a nice drink, get a good audiobook, all right? Good audiobook, and I guess enjoy the ride if you get stuck in between those times. Number 4, it is a very competitive housing market. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a realtor. It's very competitive, not only for renters, but for buyers. Why is it so competitive? There's so many people, there's so much industry coming to Boston, new buildings coming up all the time, brand new international business coming into Boston. We've become really a hub for business, and that has brought a lot of people from out of state and even out of country. I can't tell you how many people that are from other countries that move here to move for like a big business, and I have to find them a beautiful condo in the Seaport, in the Back Bay, or even in Bay Village. Bay Village is a very cute little niche spot in Boston. I recommend you guys check it out if you want to move into Boston. Very quiet niche, and you're still in the center of everything. It's actually quite amazing. And number 5 of the cons, the night scene closes early. If you are a night owl and you like going out at night, like to go for a cocktail, you like to get some food late night, things like that, the options are limited to none. If you wanted to get late night food, I mean, Moon Villa closes at 4 a.m. You can go there if you want to. But the night scene, the bars, the clubs, everything, last call is at 1:30 and everything closes at 2. And some places close at 12 or 1 o'clock. So if you're a night owl, you like the night scene, you better get ready early and you better get into the club or the bars early, because you are going to dread going out if you get there at like 1 o'clock, because you're just like, all right, half an hour for a drink and 1 hour to enjoy myself. All right, fine. So those are the 5 cons. All right, guys, now we're getting into the good stuff. Now are the 5 pros of living in Boston. 5. Yeah, you ready? You ready? Okay, good. Let's get at this. We have a killer food scene, number 1. Our food scene here is actually pretty great. It's grown a lot since I was a kid. Back in the day when I was a kid here, I grew up in the North End. It's really good Italian food, or just Boston food, which is just like chowders, clam chowder. You got the lobster rolls. You got like a baked clam, things like that. Those are like the typical Boston foods back in the day, but now we have like diversity up. It's crazy. We got, you want great Italian, you can get anywhere in the city. You want great Chinese, you want a great Thai, you want great Greek, the list goes on. There's a lot of options, and the food is very, very good. Obviously not every place is great, but if you want personal recommendations, write it in the list. Send me a comment or send me a direct message. I will definitely give you the hookup, all right? Number 2, Boston is college central. There's so many colleges here in Boston and the surrounding areas, and the public school systems isn't anything to scoff at. We're actually a very good public school systems area, but for the most part, the Boston area, we have Harvard, we have MIT, just to name one of the big dogs, in the area, and there's a bunch of other universities and colleges in the area that are top-notch and excellent. That is number 2 on the list. The third pro of living in Boston is everything is in walkable distance. Yes, everything is in walkable distance. You can walk literally from the seaport all the way down to Fenway. It would take you like maybe 30, 45 minutes, but it's a beautiful walk, and you would go through all of Boston pretty much. It's excellent. I personally love it. After I get out of work, if I'm in the mood, I'll go for a nice walk, buy a coffee. Great. That is number 3. It's excellent walkability. Oh, and I also forgot to tell you guys, the train station, everything's connected here and it goes far. Now number 4, the Boston sports teams. I know I've touched upon this topic before, but we are sports fanatics here. We got the Red Sox, we got the Celtics, we got the Bruins, and if you want to go a little bit farther out, we got the Pats. Yes, the Pats. I've been to a couple Pats games. It's actually over in Foxborough from Boston. It's about a 25 to 30 minute drive. Not bad. I mean, it's a whole spectacle when you go to Foxborough and you go to Pats games. I mean, you do tailgating, guys. It's great. You meet a bunch of people, and at any of the sports games, you meet a bunch of people. We're very Boston fanatics. We're very big sports fans, and I would recommend coming to any sports game at all. I mean, it's a very, very fun time. I mean, you will not leave with a frown. You will leave with a smile. If it wasn't for the game, it's definitely for the fans. All right, we got the best fans too. All right, guys. And number 5, it's easy to get around the Northeast. What does that mean? Well, you want to go to Kakamanga Highway or Kakamangas Highway? It's about an hour from Boston. You want to go to Acadia Park in Maine? It's about 3.5 hours. And the list goes on. You can get to New York, you get to Maine, you get to New Hampshire. New Hampshire is the closest, but it's easy to get around the Northeast. Boston's like really central here, so you can get anywhere in the Northeast within a couple hours, and it's, you can get home by dinner time and still enjoy if you leave in the morning. Those are 5 cons and 5 pros of being here in Boston, okay guys? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is Javier Hurtado Realty. If you have any real estate related needs, or you have any questions, or you want me to hook you up with a bunch of good places to get to food, you know where to reach me down below, okay guys? Y'all have a good day. Peace.